Hi there, Michael MacGyver Palladini here. Today we're working on Mama's car. It's her little BMW 330 Ci. Had a couple things we had to address today. One was I had to put a radiator in it. Of course, I've already done that. Took Jim a bit to get over here. Of course, I ought to know better to call a day ahead of time, because by the time he gets over here, I'm already half done. But that's all right. The radiator wasn't a really big deal, but what is a big deal on these cars, on all the BMW 3 Series, is that the strut towers here will mushroom out. And you know, I don't know if you can get a good angle on that, but what happens is the top of the tower here, instead of being perfectly flat, pooches up and cones up like that. And what that does is, of course, it throws your camber all off and makes your tire wear like this on the inside edge.
Didn't y'all just replace those?
No. No, mine's my Beamer's the one I just replaced the tires on. But anyway, of course, now I've already got this side done. What you have to do is you basically have to hammer this metal. Is too soft. It was an engineering flaw or whatever you want to call it, and it made the metal too thin. But the good thing about that is you can just hammer it back down flat, and you have to get a new strut plate, which I'll come over here and show you. This is the old one, and you can see how the bolts are all angled out, and that's because the strut is basically trying to push its way through the top of the strut tower, and everything just kind of goes like this. Now the new one, I don't know how you're going to do that there, Jim, you're the videographer, but you'll see the new one, okay, the bolts are perfectly straight up and down, and that's how they're supposed to be. So some brilliant genius at BMW figured that the way to fix it is you mount this reinforcement plate in there, and this is like some kind of hardened steel, and
sounds like a frying pan.
Yeah, and that goes over the top of the strut plate and goes up into the strut tower and comes through and spreads the load out, reinforces it,
gives it a little more rigidity,
and that fixes the problem. So that's what I'm doing. You look in there, you'll see that metal plate that's right in the middle, and you see how, of course, that metal plate takes up a little bit of thread on there. And you'll see how the difference between the threads on the old one and the threads on the new one, but that's still plenty sufficient for you know, to hold everything together. So what we're going to do, we're going to have to jack the car up and go ahead and see me do this side. My last bastion of front end shake was
rotors.
Some rotors. Do your fast forward shit.
Yeah. Is this one got the star wrench or the Allen key?
Allen.
Yeah. That's always nice. I was glad when they started doing that. Too many of those things, you put the wrench on the bolt and ground them out quicker than I don't know what. The GM got wise and started putting the Allen key in it and made it where it stuck out enough you could still put a pair of vice grips on it if you had to.
Yeah.
Now, explain what you're doing here. You're just taking the...
I'm just taking the brake caliper off and the ABS sensor out, because what we're going to do, we're going to disconnect the whole hub and spindle assembly from the strut. Just let it lay down out of the way.
Yeah.
We got the sway bar here. I'll have to take the sway bar link out, and
at least it's not plastic like on the Fords.
And then once we're done with that, then we can undo those 3 nuts on the top, and the strut will just fall out.
Oh, okay.
So it's relatively straightforward.
Yeah, that was my main problem I had with that Taurus, the 2000 Taurus I had.
Oh yeah.
Everything under the front end was plastic.
Oh, well,
including the rad core, which was actually fiberglass, but figured the lower control arm on this thing would be all tube.
Well, it's all magnesium or aluminum.
Really?
Oh yeah.
So one good hit in the front end and it's all over.
No, actually, it's very strong. A lot stronger than any kind of steel part. Being a BMW, on the other side, there's a sensor that goes in the brake pad right here.
Oh, okay.
Tells you when to put the light on the dash when the brake pads start wearing out.
Instead of having to listen to it squeak.
Yeah, it doesn't have a squeaker. It's got a warning lamp that comes on. You gotta be real gentle popping these ABS sensors out of here. I think like hell I have to buy one of those. Kind of gently press fit in there.
Oh, plastic dummy.
Yeah. And half the time when you get an ABS light, you get little rust bunnies in there.
They get magnetized.
And it throws the sensor off.
Nice.
Clean them up. Fixes all that up. And let me see, what was I fixing to do? Next step, we gotta get that out of there. I'm a little messy here because I gotta blow all that mud and shit out of there.
Oh, you got the lock nut and the...
You hold the stud with the Allen wrench. Because if you sit there and try and zip it off with an impact, you end up spinning the bolt in the middle, and that wears your link out.
Yeah.
So.
And you got to replace them too.
Yeah. And as we know, nothing's cheap on a BMW.
Then again, if you're gonna buy a car like this, you need to know how to work on it yourself.
Yeah, well, it's, you know. Let me see, because typically, you know, these BMWs are not that hard to work on.
It's not that they're hard, it's that they're expensive.
Yeah. No, that's true. Make sure I don't hit my tire over there, I should be alright.
You can come down as far as you need to. The tire's kind of leaned over. It'd push it out of the way before it hurt anything.
Here are little trim pieces off here so we don't beat them up with the hammer.
You got a little sensor out of the way too, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm going to get that out too. That just pops off.
T-wrench. Yeah, this is the biggest complaint I had with my videos that I do, so that I don't show it actually being done.
Oh yeah.
And usually it's because
well, you're doing it by yourself. It's kind of hard to.
Yeah.
You know, mine are the same way.
Usually I don't have a tripod or anything like that handy, or a good place to put one.
Yeah.
We'll have to keep stopping every 10 seconds to move the camera so you can see exactly what I'm doing the whole way through.
Yeah, that's why you gotta stage them. Just stage them all over here.
That's actually what I was gonna do until I got this illness the other day.
Oh yeah.
Was come over here and set up a couple of those tripods that I've got.
Now, one thing, when those bolts splay out like that,
it's hard to get them out.
It's hard to get them out. Now this side here isn't near as bad as that one. I had to beat the top plate out to get it out. But you know, this one's mushroomed a little bit, but not near as bad as the other one. Yeah. That one's not nearly as messed up.
No, it's not quite as obvious on there.
But
That just screws down on the top of it.
yeah, well, you gotta compress the springs, which is a bitch.
Yeah, I've got a set of those. Susan's nephew left them over there.
Yeah, let's see how I think here, hang it on each side here.
Well, that set I've got don't have that little rod that comes out like that.
Yeah, that's your lifesaver there, buddy. But of course these are all worn out.
Yeah, but you should have seen me trying to pull the struts off that Eldorado that I had. Oh man, that was fun.
9,000 pound spring.
Yeah. Like I said, not really my idea of fun. I was being completely sarcastic about that.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see, which one was that?
The one that's on the gun.
Yeah.
It just fell off.
Yeah. Yeah, I always take the rings off them because they go faster that way when you're working. That one's smoothed up just a wee.
Dang it. I'm sick of coughing.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Still got the air box off of it. This thing's got a gaying in air filter in it. Then blew this thing out and cleaned it out like a month and a half ago.
They've got a kit that you do all that with and re-oil. I've got K&N in everything of mine.
Yeah, you know, that's and I'll go along with the fact that they're, you know, they may flow a little better and all that. But in a stock application, you know, that's like a month and a half, 2 months. You know, your average Joe don't remember to go in there and clean that thing.
Yeah, your average Joe don't live in the dirt road like we do either.
Yeah, so
it tells you on the tells you on the instructions with the filter when you get it. If you live in dusty or dirty conditions, you have to do it more often.
Yep. This goddamn thing keeps trying to walk. That happened to me on the other strut. Fix your little wagon there, buddy.
If at first you don't succeed, don't go skydiving.
Skydiving is not for you.
Yep.
Can't begin to elaborate on the incredible amount of stored energy in this spring. If it were to break loose, it would really ruin your day. Now, interesting little trick, you know, everybody's always, you know, just took a socket down in there and zipped it off with the impact. And if you're changing the struts, That's not a bad way to do it. But in this case, you know, these struts are perfectly fine, and we want to keep them, especially if you look, they're the BMW Sport. This car has the sport suspension package on it. You know, and that's probably about like a $300, $400 strut. So I don't want to just sit there and go whiz on this thing and spin that center piston around in there and screw up an otherwise good strut. So what this is a 21 millimeter, aka 13/16 spark plug socket. Okay. And then your thing in the middle like that. And away you go.
You don't need me to put the old retard grip on it, do you? Oh, Alex, you got to see a little bit of that. I pulled that block off the trailer for you. He says, I was going to come out there and help you. How'd you get that off of there?
Yeah, he always going to come out there and help.
Yeah.
He never seems to, though.
That's all I told him. I just went out there and grabbed a hold of the heads and just lifted it up and dropped it on the ground.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing, by the way. I sold that 6-liter this morning.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. Core block.
Yep.
They were happy as hell to get it too. Put it on Craigslist for $300. You know, as a complete engine. And of course, I figured they were going to jiggle me down a little bit. So I mean, if I got $250 for it, I was happy.
Oh yeah.
That's exactly what I got for it. So that's how you do it. And then you just pop out the bad one. And we'll pop in the good one after we grease up the bearing here. Has what's what they call a bearing plate, and they don't come with grease in them, so you get you some nice grease in there.
That'd be good for that bearing packer I got at the house. One of 3.
Well, you know, it is a...
My dumb butt kept buying them, not remembering I'd already purchased one.
Yeah, this one would be a little tough. If you had the bearing out before it was in there, you could slip it in that bearing packer and it'd be easy, but this one here might be a little problematic.
The one that I've got actually has the shaft in the middle and the little cone that drops down on it.
Ah, yeah, those are nice.
Yeah. Like I said, I've got 3 of them now. They're like $7 at Advance.
Oh, yeah.
I'd buy one, and a few months later, I'd forget I had it and go in and buy another one.
You'd be there getting other shit, and you go,
Maybe
okay.
I ought to have one of those.
Do I have one of those?
That's one of the problems with procrastinating. You forget the stuff you've already bought.
It's like Seinfeld, you know, when he's in the store, you know. Do I have milk? Do I have enough milk? All right. Takes care of that. Now what I got to do here, I've got to I'm gonna have to squish that bad boy down just a wee bit more. Whoopsie.
There's your $300 strut.
Now Picked it up by the spring, which was a bad idea. You have to make sure the spring seat's back in where it was. These things are just so damn cantankerous.
That's not so good.
That's a real.
It pushed it out because you compressed the spring right on top of it.
Yeah. There we go. I think that'll do it.
Give me another hand.
No, I don't know. Got the other one, but make sure Strut's all the way up. Yeah, if you want to give me a little downward pressure on that side, fire that up. We're pinching and pushing the rod down.
About this.
Right,
Push it
I'll
down where
push
you
it
want
in.
it, and I'll push this on here.
All right, hang on, let me see where I'm at here.
And it's not coming through, that's the problem.
Yeah, I gotta. Well, the problem is this damn thing's.
What a pain in the balls.
Yeah, the other one didn't go on this tough, but. Yeah, get it on there.
There, you got a little something on it.
Okay, good deal. All right. Much better.
Good thing you wanted me over here to film.
Yeah, this would have been a bitch, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Oh no, I got the other one straight on there. That was,
Well, it's like the piston in the center decided it was just gonna.
well, and see, I got my compressors are a little off center, so
So it makes it a little harder.
it makes it a little harder because the spring's not sitting right the way it needs to. So
Yeah. Oh, little pointer too. May want to peel that sticker off and get all the glue off because that's what makes them rust through faster.
oh, woohoo! That one cut loose. How about that?
Put it in your fingers.
Yeah, but it wasn't.
What are you doing?
It's a BMW, man. You don't want to mar the paint up.
Well, I figured you'd do it with a wood block.
Yeah. would block it be all day.
I do have my body dollies out in the car.
Well, yeah, they probably work nice too. Oh yeah, we gotta get the thing on here, don't we? How's that in there? Let's see how this goes.
Unplug it here, pull that up off the top.
Yeah, well, it's all fine and dandy there, but
that makes the back side of the other easier to get to. That's a jumping terminal, ain't it?
yeah. Yep. It's just, Beamers keep the battery in the trunk, so what we gotta do is move that over there.
I wasn't even thinking about there not being a battery present.
And then pretty much, like I said,
That's a deep enough box. I could have put it right there.
I don't know. You really gotta do this. Now, if I go down a little too far, that's okay, because
Got a hump right there.
once you set the weight of the car on it, you'll drive it a little bit, it'll pop everything back up on those stiffener plates. And hunky-dory.
Yeah, you gotta make sure and torque them down to the right.
They don't need a lot of torque. That's the cool thing about it. They're not, you'd think, because, the whole weight of the car and everything, but they don't really do much. I mean, it's real flimsy aluminum, like cast aluminum, the whole bearing plate. But it does the job. Whoopsie. Got a little plate on there like so. And we run it back up through here, like thusly.
Stop all this hard work stuff from making me sweat.
Jeez. You're funny.
I'm trying to stay back away from you so you don't catch what's left of my cold.
Thanks, I appreciate that.
That's all you need to be out sick too.
Hey.
Yeah, done real good last year. Didn't get sick even when you and Jeff both had the plague.
Shit. I hate that. Now when I set the car down, these little towers will go boop. They'll pop back up. And that's why I'm not really gonna torque the shit out of these, because they will break, because they're not, they're not meant to be torqued, tight as shit and then some. They only need to be a certain amount, but we want to wait for it to. We want these things to pop back out where they're going to go, and then we'll put a final torque on them. All right, we have that. I'll pick it back up.
One thing I will say for it, that's a big doggone brake rotor.
Oh yeah. Yep, that it be. Now I'm gonna need your assistance here. Have to like that.
Get you a floor jack and a piece of wood or metal.
Yeah. thing about a smooth floor.
Yeah.
Let's get this up on there. Surely.
That's the problem, it's not tilting in far enough on it.
Wait a minute. Let's go down. That's why.
Oh, it's got to line up with that little thing on the back.
Oop, there.
There's two little knobs. Gotta go right down the center of that.
Yeah, there we go. Much better.
Yeah, now it's going right off on there.
Well, it's a pinch bolt type arrangement, see, so. There, you hear that?
Yep.
That's the skadunk of success. Hang that up over there. This go. ABS sensor back in. Do that while the caliper's out. When it's out of the way.
Probably can't do it with it in anyway, can you?
Yeah, you can, but so much nicer when you got it out of the way.
Kind of tight in there. Yeah, that's something else the Germans do that I never did really get.
What, cramming 5 pounds or 10 pounds of shit in a 5-pound sack?
No, where they put the bolts, the studs and everything are on one piece and it bolts into the rotor.
Well, yeah. Now kids, don't try this at home, but if you do, don't forget, pump the brake pedal about 4 or 5 times before you move the car.
Yeah, otherwise the pedal sinks right to the floor.
No brakes! That's just one of them ratcheting box wrenches would be nice.
I got mine out in the truck.
Yeah, by the time you get out there and get it, I'll be done.
That's just why I didn't say, well, hang on, let me run and get them.
But then again, too, to be our luck, it'd be just a little too fat to get in there.
Yeah.
It's a bit tight.
Yeah, because they are a bit bigger around.
Yeah.
You ain't even messed with that other machine yet, have you?
Which other machine?
Your
Oh, the video?
video editing machine I built you.
Yeah, actually I did. And, but I haven't had enough time to really become one with it. So, and I still haven't been able to successfully edit an MOV file. So what I did was I used your machine that you gave, that you built, the video editing machine, convert it to, you know, whatever it is, AVI or WMV or something.
MP4.
Then I can import it. No.
Oh, that's, yeah.
I can import it. Then I can import it into an XP machine and work it from there.
Well, you're gonna have to come off that XP now.
Oh, I know it.
A lot of stuff's not working with it anymore.
Yeah, tell me about it. Seeing a lot of that.
Come up to the 2010s.
Yep.
So now she's gonna get new tires?
Now I'll get the new tires and get it aligned.
Let's see if these pop out once it hits the floor.
I don't know if they'll do that or if I have to run over some bumps to make it do that, but we'll see. And you can see it added about the camber relatively back right and everything with those towers pushed back down. It's actually increased the ride height by about a ½ inch on the front. Before I had to...
Yeah, they were almost all up in the fender well before.
Yeah. Counts the suspension a little bit.
Yeah, it'd probably take a while to do that if it took a while to do it before.
Yeah. But now with the weight of the car on it, I can go ahead and
Tighten them up.
snug the bolts here.
I'll get you one of those braces that you put on top of it.
Strut tower brace.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's what all the race racers do.
Yeah, you know, I ain't about paying $200-300 for a strut tower brace, but
It'll give you that support though, so
they give a little bit of support, but
because they're actually playing off of each other that way rather than just relying on the metal.
So that will be a lot better, I believe. All right.
I still think it'd look good with the LS1 in there.
Well, of course it would. That would make a great day. But, you know, LS1's a lot heavier motor.
Oh yeah. Well, you were saying they got the turbo kits and everything else for this one now too.
Oh man, I've seen guys making 1,100-1,200 horsepower out of that damn 6-cylinder.
I believe it.
And it's streetable all day long. So,
what are you getting out of it stock?
I honestly don't know.
I figured it was like maybe 240, 280, something like that.
I don't know. It's considerable. It's pretty quick. With that, well, with the straight six, you got a lot more torque too.
Yeah.
So.
Engine don't have to work as hard because it's not in a V.
Well, you know, V engines make more power up top. You know, straight engines, straight line engines make all their power down low. So, but anyway, there you have it. I gotta go to the store and get a good air filter, a decent air filter, and then I'll put it all back together and change the oil.
We got a cleanout kit for the.
Fuck that thing, man. I don't have to fucking do that thing every month and a half. Hell, it'll be every week and a half around here.
Yeah.
Let's get a pleated paper filter and put it in and be done with it.
Anyway, there you have
Mom's
it.
car, she don't, you know,
Like my wife, she just drives it. I bet yours at least checks the oil though.
yeah, oh yeah.
Anyway, that's all for now. Thanks for watching.